Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Imperial Wealth Crypto Chronicle Podcast. We've had a decent break over the festive period, and we're back in action with much action occurring, isn't it, Taylor?
Mate, it's never a dull moment. As much as you try and take a break, it definitely doesn't stop.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, you say that is last year off the back of, not last year, 2022, end of 2022, going into 2023. I remember that December, November. We obviously had FTX in November. Bitcoin was trading sideways at 15, 16K in December. I think when it got to it was like January 3rd or 5th or something. The market just started going bonkers and everyone was in holiday mode. And
well, that's the thing. We all were like, after that year, we need a break.
Yeah, exactly. And then, funnily enough, I said to myself this year, I said, I need a break because I know what's ahead in 2024.
Exactly.
And I personally did take the break. I didn't look at too many charts or too much news. I kind of tried to block it out, and it's been good. And now we've come back and the ETF approval is here.
I know. We should have probably planned a little bit better. We should have had some streamers, maybe some champagne or something like that.
We should have had at least a few beers, given we dedicated about 15 podcasts to the ETF. But we've got there, and what matters is, I think, going back, I'd like to actually get a few sound grabs of what we were saying back then, but I am fairly confident I was saying it would be January approval 3 to 4 months ago. I think most people had that idea. For those that don't know, this morning, officially, after the unofficial approval yesterday,
mate, they let the white cloth come off just a bit early and went, it hasn't been approved yet.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, obviously, I'm sure almost every listener should know, is yesterday there was a bit of a mishap where apparently the US government does not 2FA any account of theirs, including their Twitter login, so anyone can SIM swap or just obtain that phone number and log in or request a new password.
The irony is just absolutely boggling, isn't it?
It's one of the more moronic and ironic things you'll ever see, because obviously, as many of our Trading Academy members and community members know, all the memes and all the screenshots and all the prior tweets were being sent around. You know, you had Gary saying how important 2FA is back in October.
He's the biggest clown on the planet. Like, he's literally just been smacked in the face. Come on.
I haven't seen someone with the worst 12 months of the last 12 months than Gary Gensler, but
Biden's definitely a close second.
Biden, Sleepy Biden, Sleepy Joe's probably up there. But so essentially what happened was the SEC Twitter account was hacked. A funny hacker then posted that the ETFs were approved. This was quickly followed by a tweet by Gary saying, "No one listened to the SEC account. It's fake. We've been hacked."
Have you heard the rumory bit about how the account posted the ticker BTC?
I saw them post the ticker BTC. Then it got deleted.
Yeah, they deleted it because then they were like, the theory is they've gone, there's a draft there. That's good. Let's just post that.
Yeah, because I guess what you have to weigh up is, was the hacker willing to create such a great graphic design in preparation for the hack, or was it sitting in the drafts? Which makes logical sense, because you would have scheduled tweets in your drafts that automatically get sent out X time, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately,
also, they're a bit of an idiot, though.
Well, unfortunately for us, I think as any US government stuff up, this will probably be covered up pretty quickly and we'll never really know the truth. And it'll probably just say that they got hacked and that was that.
To be funny, the guy stuffed up.
Yeah.
He should have come out. He should have put a tweet saying ETF has been rejected, and he should have shorted the market.
Yeah, he should have.
He would have made billions.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a number of different things he could have done, but I feel like once you're in the overwhelming excitement, you just...
If you're the hacker, thank you for not doing that. But.
Yeah, exactly. So we had that yesterday. So much commotion to come out of that. It was almost like a little test, wasn't it? Because there was a bit of a little pump and then a little dump, and then...
It was literally just
kind of what we got today. It was pretty much the exact same thing.
Yeah. But it was also just this little Band-Aid half rip, and then they just stuck it back on.
Yeah, and like I was having conversations with other people yesterday, and I'm like, so the people that sold the news on the fake one, do they like rebuy now and then resell on the real news? And like, I'm not. And like, if you shorted like yesterday, did you like close that short and like, I'll do a short on the real pump? Or
the thing that's interesting, right, is that, all right, so within the space of legitimately 24 hours, we have fluctuated 4 to 5K each way.
Oh, yeah. Like, even I had someone say to me today, really? I expected a bigger dump off the immediate news. And I said, we literally in like a 3-minute candle went from 47K to 44.7K. Like, it's not an insignificant swing of
I just feel like people have gone from this thing of like where Bitcoin goes from 30K down to 15 like that, and it's just instant. That's your theory now, and it's like, well, it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, I think that's probably what's been interesting from a trading and investor standpoint, and particularly from a trading standpoint, from my point of view, is that's what was happening with me on the impulse legs up. Is just from a trading and leverage standpoint, I was looking for those 25%, 30% pullbacks to then reset and re-go for higher, and we were only getting the 5 to 10% that we got today, and we only got the 5 to 10% that we got yesterday. And and like it's exactly what you said is, and even myself, I was accustomed to, when we hit a high time frame resistance of 45k, all right, it's 37, 35k next, and then it's 50. And I feel like everyone's been doing that. Oh damn, I missed the buy at 40, we're at 45 now. All right, I'm waiting for 35 or 32 to get retested.
40, and then it goes back to 48.
And then it goes to 48, and then you go, okay, well, I'll wait for the retest of 40, and only 44 comes, and then...
Do you feel like there's just...
how the FOMO gets created.
Yeah, but do you feel like there's too much strength in the market in the sense of there's so many more people involved than there previously has been?
I think so. I think what people as well and listeners need to understand, it is an entirely different market to the last market, and I think... it's an assumption, but I feel like the difference in this market to last market is retail and institution. So all of the last bull market was driven by pure retail speculation. Bubble popped 69k. Everyone was buying Lambos at 69k. Everyone was buying Bitcoin. This time around, it's like everyone kind of knows the go. That's retail, and retail doesn't have money to invest and they no longer care about crypto, or they're already in it. I feel mostly, and then I feel the difference is the institutions this time around.
100%.
So and people don't understand that. That includes retail. So when I say institutions, I'm saying retail are just going to use an institution like BlackRock to get there. And that I just don't feel like it's going to have the same huge retail effect that we had last bull run, where it was like, every single one of your friends was buying a dog meme coin. We're not seeing that at 50k Bitcoin right now, 48k Bitcoin.
That's going to be coming.
Yeah, it'll come later, but I feel like the progression of these impulse moves right now, it's a lot different to the last bull cycle. And even if you go to a monthly chart, and we've got that log scale one, and you'll see the breakout of last one was much steeper and much faster and a bit more vicious. Still remain to be seen if that can happen in the next few weeks or next couple of months, but it does look a bit different. And there's different theories out there. We're still in a super cycle from the last cycle, and this is the act of the cycle impending and coming up. And we just had some pullbacks, or are we in a 4 year, blah, blah, blah. So there's so many different things you can take into account. But, getting back on topic of what we were, ETF approval was this morning, and it was of every single one. So...
which that in itself is pretty big.
So I think ARK was due first. Theirs was today, and I think it wasn't the call just to approve them all at once.
It'd make sense, wouldn't it? They've all got to be a copy of each other to be a degree.
I think there's different blend ones. I think the main difference is the custodian. So some have got Coinbase, some have got CBOE. But it'll be really interesting to kind of see where it goes now, because obviously in the past a lot of the discussion that we've had in the technical side of it has been around Bitcoin dominance and alts. So for those watching this morning, you would have seen Arbitrum put in a new ATH.
Thank you.
ETH got to as high as 2650, I'll say, or 2640.
Man, it was rocketing.
Yeah, it was rocketing once it hit that golden pocket, and now it's kind of battling the resistance there. But I think what the most interesting watch in terms of price action across the next few weeks leading to the halving is alts, and it's whether it's does the institutional flows that get created, because I think BlackRock said they were going to be putting in, was it 2 billion? I saw before Bloomberg expect 4 billion of inflows to Bitcoin in the first
6
round.
Weeks,
the first round of flows, and they expected 2 of that 4 billion to be from BlackRock from their own seeding. So I guess it'll just I don't know how this impacts specifically on Bitcoin dominance, whether all this flow of money just goes to it and naturally dominance continues to rise. Because at the moment, what's happening is pretty much the opposite. We were speaking about it before is, Bitcoin got approved this morning, and Bitcoin dominance in the last few days has dropped, from 55%?
42 and a bit. 52 and a bit.
Yeah, 52 and a bit now. And that's a big drop in dominance.
That's massive.
That's a massive swing, So it's really interesting right now. Is it alt season?
Well, okay, so I've been thinking about it this morning, because when I was talking this morning, and then I was saying about ETH dominance is pumping, USDD is tanking. Yeah. So what do you reckon people are piggybacking into ETH? I think they are, waiting because it carries on effect, right?
I think it's more so, think of it this way, right, is everyone expected the ETF to be, when it was approved, a pump. And what it was it was 3 months of front-loading Bitcoin because it was going to get inevitably approved. We're now 3 months out from an ETH ETF, and everyone's watched, okay, Bitcoin pumped from 25,000 to 48,000, and then when but the process was it pumped in impulse pumps towards the approval, not when it got approved.
All right.
So if you look at ETH right now and you get the ETH and the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin's done what this year? 3x?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Sorry, not this year, in the last 12 months. ETH has done less than a 2x. Oh, but roughly a 2x.
I think it's done,
and just when you think about logically, logically when you think about ETH and Bitcoin returns, though, it's usually a flip, and ETH is... So people are looking at ETH right now going, okay, it's got the exact same fundamental narrative as Bitcoin in terms of this ETF approval coming up in March, with 3 months, I think, was March or May?
Yeah, March. Yeah.
Bitcoin was, I think we bottomed out in October around, was it August or 25,000? What's when we had that deleveraging dump?
Yeah.
Anyways, so they've watched it 2x in 3 months off the back of a narrative. Obviously, you can argue technicals, high time frame charts, the halving, blah, blah. So if you look at the two now and you want to compare, what one has the best reward ratio for me right now? And it's a pretty easy answer.
Well, then I'm going to ask you the next question, which is always a fun one. What is your ETH prediction in the next 3 months?
I think...
Oh, we're going to have a drink because there's a big one coming.
3,500, I think, comes.
So another grand. Okay.
I think in the next three...
That's conservative, in my opinion.
I think... Oh, well, I said at the minimum.
All right. So I'm stipulating the minimum.
I've shown it in technical charts before for Trading Academy members, and in the Chronicle, I would have shown it for ETH. But once ETH breaches the level it's currently rejecting from, which is, let's just call it 2,600, which is its major pivot golden pocket from its April high from 2022, is that there's no structural resistance on Ethereum once you get past this level. So technically you can argue it can go to 3,500 as fast as you can blink. But I think a reasonable target, if you are mega bullish on Ethereum, is 3,500. Because what is Ethereum's? I think in 4,400 or something? No, 5,000?
No, it's like 45 or 6, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, close enough.
I don't remember. Need to relook at the chart. But I think what whales and what smart money is saying to themselves now is, I don't have enough ETH. I've got as much Bitcoin in the world as I need, but I do not have enough ETH.
And I need to stop you right there. I've got as much Bitcoin as I need. That is a false statement right there.
It's more so in terms of their capital allocation is, all right, well, you're looking at Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing right now? It's consolidating, is it not? Trading sideways, up and down?
Yeah, roughly.
And then what's happening to Bitcoin dominance? It's getting tanked.
Yeah.
So what does that insinuate on a general level? Bitcoin is being sold for altcoins, and you said yourself before, what has bottomed? ETH-BTC has bottomed. Has ETH-BTC absolutely rocketed in the last 24 hours? Okay, so if Bitcoin dominance is getting smashed, ETH-BTC is rocketing, Ethereum is pumping, and Bitcoin is trading sideways. Well, that is telling me a pretty clear photo that everyone is dumping their Bitcoin for Ethereum.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And so I'm saying these smart investors are saying that to themselves. They're saying, fuck, I've made so much money this last 3-4 months in Bitcoin. This is my rotation. You go through every cycle. It goes Bitcoin first, Ethereum second, alts third, microcaps fourth. Okay,
so does that mean you were already started then? Do you think we've already started people rolling out of BTC to ETH? Because I feel like it's pretty early.
It is early, but the charts are telling you that. I'm not saying it's a given because...
You'd be smart to roll out a portion, but you're not going to roll out much.
No. But the thing being is this is just what it's saying right now. It doesn't mean it's what it's going to say tomorrow. And I'm not someone to say, go and sell your BTC for ETH. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm saying this is what people are doing. And it's very clear it's what they're doing. And I think more so it's from a pure standpoint of what I said before. You get both charts up next to each other, and Bitcoin has made a lot more ground than Ethereum has. Therefore, Ethereum has to make up a lot more ground.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
From this point on, if they've got the same fundamental narrative as the ETF, and if that was the reason Bitcoin pumped, if you look at it from that standpoint, then you're going to have to concede that that's why ETH is going to pump just as hard.
Yeah.
Once again, though, you have the halving at the same time as the ETH ETF approval. So maybe you need to weigh that up. Maybe I shouldn't sell my ETH if I've got the halving incoming. Because there gets the demand shock, supply shock, all in one. Because what usually happens is I went back and looked at this morning, is last halving, dominance pumped for a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks as Bitcoin pumped. Then it stalled and then it absolutely dumped, as obviously that's when everyone said, fuck, we've got to get ETH and alts to catch up. And then it pumped once more, and then that's when it started like the true alt kind of run, when it ran from 72% to as low as like 25 or 30% or something. So
it's a big jump.
It's an interesting discussion, and I think one that a lot of traders and investors are weighing up right now as they look at the ETH chart and look at the BTC chart. For those listeners out there, I wouldn't try and get too cute. This is a trader conversation. If you're thinking out there, listen to this saying, "Oh damn, should I sell all my Bitcoin and buy ETH?" Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try and get too cute. Bitcoin will always be king, but yeah, just really interesting on ETH at the moment. So
it's interesting, like from my perspective. Right? I just sat back and listened to you for a second. The difference in narrative from what we've gone from when we started doing this podcast, which is like, oh, we're worried we're going to go do this, and now it's like, oh yeah, we're looking for this market, this. Like everything's just so changed. It's quite funny, because like everything's looking bright. You know what I mean? It's a new year. Everything's looking good. We're pretty happy. Nothing wrong with anything at the moment.
Yeah, it feels a bit suspicious to me.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
I'm waiting for Gary's next. Oh,
I loved it, that post you did this morning, and it was like, we don't endorse Bitcoin, but we've approved the ETFs. Mate.
I'll read that exact quote because
he's just a bloody prick.
Yeah, he's just a prick. He said, while we approved the listing and trading of certain spot Bitcoin ETP shares today, we did not approve or endorse Bitcoin. Oh, Gary, cry us a river. Satoshi lives. That's what my comments were after I sent that into the Trading Academy.
I really hope Gary could listen to our podcast one day. Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Gary will go down in history at least as one of the goats of this industry.
Him getting a pension is an actual joke.
Well, we'll look at it around the grounds here. I've got the charts up. So Arbitrum, all-time high. We're talking about that this morning, weren't we? So it's actually at an actual all-time high right now.
Where's it sitting at?
$2.32 as I speak. It's at the highest point it's ever been as these words are being ushered out. So
delicious.
We've got Arbit 2.32. Link is back to 15, which is good to see. Cass is at 12-ish cents.
Lovely.
One thing I'll give members some insight on is if you see ARB running, do not sleep on GMX, as that seems to just pump whenever ARB pumps. Obviously, it's the biggest DEX on ARB, so it makes a lot of sense. We're seeing FET above 72 cents. I expect $1 for FET soon.
How good.
Yeah. Sol is back above 100.
Thank you, Sol.
I expect 144 on Sol soon. And Matic, I just refuse to talk about Matic until it clears $1 and clears it properly.
Did it?
Oh, yeah.
It did it literally like 2 weeks ago. It went to like $1.20 and now it's pumped right back down again. It's literally just ebbing and flowing.
Yeah. Phantom's had a bit of a crunch, which is nice to see, but hopefully we see that soon. And then, everything's looking pretty nice. I think if you go and look at all the BTC pairs, that being, ARB, BTC, FBTC, you'll see what's occurring here pretty clearly. In saying that, as I said before, I think tomorrow's price action will be more interesting than today's because
I actually agree on
stock markets are closed now. Everyone's got to process it. Hedge funds got to decide what to do. BlackRock needs to go, this is what we're going to do. And everyone's got to sit on it now until tomorrow and go. So
tonight is going to be real interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That's where
it's going to be a hard night to sleep, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. What time are you setting your alarm? 1, 2?
Well, daily open is at 12:30. So
right, it's 2.
Maybe I go to sleep at 8 p.m, wake up at 12. Won't be able to sleep that early.
I'll give you a MEXC login, far out.
But anyways, across just the summer, I will quickly just say there was a few things that happened. El Salvador passed the law to offer the citizenship for Bitcoin investors, which we spoke on previously, but that's official. Elon Musk aims to launch everything payments in mid-2024. For those Doji holders, hopefully that's you. Hong Kong wants to get into their spot ETFs. I think we talked about that on the thingo.
HBSC or whatever it was,
so that's good. And then really most of it was just around the SEC and the to and from. I think CZ hasn't been allowed back to Dubai. He failed a second time. But all in all,
everything's been really quiet purely because we're waiting for this news.
Literally,
this is the foundation.
ETF run, so.
I look forward to seeing all the ads coming out now soon. Yeah,
because there was the Van Eck one and there was one other. They were great ads too. So hopefully they think of some creative ones. But
the best one I saw was that like Satoshi sends his regards. It's like what? It's just the silliest one, but I love it.
There's going to be some pretty silly ones. But to wrap us off, I guess. Been a quiet festive period in terms of news. This ETF's finally happened. We can finally move forward as traders and investors in the Trading Academy. Right now, we're set on all our major alts. We dollar cost average into Bitcoin and ETH all throughout the bear market from June of 2022 to November of 2022. We're sitting on those bags, and we'll be looking to invest in newer projects as the halving approaches, taking a look at some of the older coins and projects that have improved their blockchain technology. So if you're interested in any of our investing services, which is your trading academy, as we really head towards a halving, it's super important you get on top of it now, and you're not doing what we're talking about at the start and chasing and waiting for that big dips, and you've missed it all and you don't have any capital in the market. And then obviously for traders, we're utilizing shorts at the moment, trying to hedge our portfolios. At the moment, the crew is in a really nice long that we all punted this morning, either degenerately or not. But that's to stay within the community. And then, we'll just be focused on that moving forward. But mining, speak to us, give us a little brief overview of mining before we wrap up.
I do just want to touch quickly then, because I literally have had about 5 or 10 different people reach out this morning about the trading stuff. It's not too late. Yep. Get involved. It's not necessarily because I've missed out on Bitcoin at 20K, all that sort of stuff. The old stuff is still kicking along, and there's still positions you can get in. Yeah. And it's more or less now you'll be able to see the conviction, because for when we bought it, 12 months ago, from what it's done, you'll be able to see you'll be able to get another leg up.
Yeah, and even so, we bought a major alt at the start of December at 87 cents, and I looked this morning, it was at $1. Yeah. You've missed out on 10% gain, and tomorrow it could be at 85 cents, and it loses 15%. So
for the sake of the moment, it's still at that 50% off, so it's still only it's under $1,000 for a year. So it's worthwhile jumping on. So reach out if it's of interest. In the sense of mining, not a huge amount has changed. Everyone's been pretty stable. Obviously waiting for this ETF and going through to the halving. The only thing that's changed a little bit is obviously machines and on times, things like that. So at the moment we are about to go through Chinese New Year, so that does slow down things a little bit. Yeah. So we do have stock that is available. The S19Ks, they're kind of the best Bitcoin miner for value at the moment. Yeah. Even comparative to an S21, you're spending double the amount, you're never going to make it back. So there's a few different options that we can work through. So Bitcoin mining, still king, especially with the halving coming up. As much as that sounds really bad and, oh no, I'm going to miss half my rewards, look at the price of Bitcoin the last 2 halvings, 200 days post-halving, and then tell me you wish you didn't mine it. So you're not looking to get rewards over the first 12 to 24 months. You're looking at that 5-10 year mark. So we're still at the tip of the iceberg. There's no reason why not to look at it. Scaling is the best point right now. So reach out. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Awesome. Easy. Alrighty. Well, I think that should wrap us up for our first one of 2024. It was a bit off the fly, this one, and it wasn't as structured as our usual ones with all the different pieces of news coming in. But
mate, we were meant to be on holidays.
Yes.
So you know what I mean?
Our listeners are lucky enough that Taylor and I have come in for the ETF special, we'll call this one.
I like it. ETF special.
And probably never speak about the ETFs again until we probably start next week speculating on the ETH ones for the next 20 podcasts. Until
I do like it. It's good fun just figuring out, they've said this.
Because, you might have thought that, they've been approved now. We won't see much more of Gary. We've still got to get through ETH for Gary. So
I really hope that's the last we see Gary.
Much more to come for Gary. But thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week, I reckon, with a chronicle, a written one. Yep. I'm catching up on all the news that we've missed. There wasn't a heap, but I'll get out a number of articles across about the next 5 to 7 days, and then I'll collate them into a chronicle for us next week, and then we'll recatch up on all the price action and all the mining and all the mayhem that comes of this decision in the next 7 days. I say we'll probably do on next Tuesday or Thursday. So yeah,
we'll also have Squirbo telling us about his holidays.
Yes, we'll speak to Squirbo about his fishing and meditation then. So thanks everyone. We'll speak to you next week.
See you guys.